Alright, today we have a 2006 Dodge Durango, and this thing has a horrible misfire. It kind of smooths out a little bit when you're going down the road. Turn off the overdrive at about 2,000 RPMs. It'll smooth out a little bit, but it's still missing like a horrible, crazy amount. And I'll start it up, show it to you guys before we figure out what the problem is. Good old 4.7. Pretty much doesn't matter the year as long as you got a 4.7. Going to be pretty much the same process if you have any type of misfire going on. You're going to pretty much check the same stuff that we're going to do in this video. Alright, before we get started on working towards finding out why this Durango is misfiring, some of the things that can cause a misfire, it's kind of what you want to think about before you just throw money into it. So, a whole lot of white smoke comes out of the tailpipe when you first start this truck up. Maybe a bad head gasket, but it doesn't overheat, so I'm gonna rule that out. It might be low on oil. We'll check to see if it's low on oil, because maybe one of the piston rings, is leaking and then getting in the top of the piston, trying to mix with the spark plug and gas and all that good stuff. I'm going to lean more towards, with this truck, more towards something like maybe a stuck open fuel injector, or maybe something as dumb as just a bad coil pack, maybe multiple coil packs, spark plugs. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is going to take a light tester, check engine light tester, see what this tells us, if it tells us anything. Make sure we're headed in the right direction. And after that, we'll go ahead and check the oil, check the antifreeze to see if anything is off with them too, to make sure there's nothing, no liquid besides gas getting onto the spark plugs themselves. But before we do all that, we're going to finish this cup of coffee right here, because around here we do what we want. Alright, let's go inside the truck here. That worked. That worked. Alright, you can find the light tester up in here. Oh, it's right here. If you're using a light tester, you already know you gotta have the key on. Focus. Focus says me. Alright, anyways. Okay, this is knock sensor. This one says random multiple cylinder misfire detected. Not being precise. I am not getting this thing to focus today. Anyways, knock sensor 2, another random cylinder misfire, post catalytic fuel trim system too rich. Okay, so this is saying too much gas is getting into the exhaust. So that's gonna already, too much gas. It's gonna let me know. The O2 sensor is basically saying that there's either an stuck open fuel injector or a spark plug that's completely not working somewhere. At least one. Which is, that's what I interpret from that code right there. I could be wrong, but we'll find out. The knock sensors might just be throwing codes because it's detecting a knock from that dead cylinder that's not firing. This is a cheaper scanner. I can't find my good one, so it kind of sucks. It says random cylinder misfire, so we're gonna have to figure out on our own which cylinder and how many cylinders are not working right. All right. So now you just go out to the front of the truck. Okay. See if I can't turn the light on here. Alright, so here you're gonna have 8 of these. Alright. First thing you want to do is check these. Do a visual check. See if anything like wires are broken, bare wires. It's gonna be 4 on this side, 4 on the other side. And then right next to these, in between each of these, is gonna be right on here. That right there is gonna be your fuel injector. And you want to do the same thing, just a quick visual, see if any of the wires are anything's unplugged, wires broken, anything obvious. But you know, it's very rare you get that lucky. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to test the fuel injectors to see if they're firing. You don't really need anything special for that. All you got to do is start the vehicle. Before we do that, we're going to go ahead and do all the fluid checks, just because we said we was going to before we put the check engine light tester on there. Okay, the coolant is full, the radiator's full, so we're not losing any coolant, so I'm going to automatically just say it's not a head gasket problem in any way, shape, or form. Comes to the oil. See if I can get some light on there. It's definitely down below the add. I can tell without even having to wipe it off. So sorry about the camera angle for a second. So there is the possibility of, it does burn oil for sure. Otherwise it wouldn't be low on oil. Hopefully that's not what's causing the misfire, like a piston ring or anything like that. So yeah, we're going to focus on these two things. But according to the O2 sensor code, with the too much gas getting into the exhaust, we're going to go ahead and fire this up and start inspecting all the fuel injectors, and then if them all check out, you move on to your coil packs. The easiest way to do, for the coil packs, if you want to test these, the fastest thing to do is just to take them off, take the spark plug out, look at the spark plug, and find the bad spark plugs. It'd be pretty obvious if there's something going on with one of them. Alright, so what you're going to want to do, a lot of people like to use a screwdriver to test these fuel injectors, but if you have a jack in your garage, you can take the handle off, and what you do is you just set it right down there, right on the injector, anywhere on the injector. It will work just fine. And then you start up the truck, and then you put your ear right here, and that pipe will carry that sound right up through the pipe. And you want to listen for like a clicking, ticking sound, which is the injector opening and closing. It should be real fast, like a fast ticking sound, because you got to imagine how many times it's firing over and over and over again. And you just do that repeatedly to every single, all 8 or 6 or 8 or whatever it is you're working on. And that's pretty much the fastest and easiest way to test your injectors. went through all 8 fuel injectors doing the same method. It's a little hard to hear in the video that I just made, but if you listen close you can hear like the clicking sound. That clicking is the injector opening. Once you do it yourself, you'll pretty much hear one and then know what to do from there. All 8 of mine seem to be fine. They were all clicking, seem to be working. So now I'm going to go on to the coil packs and spark plugs. So I'm pretty much gonna have to take this top piece off, the air duct off. I'm gonna start over here on the passenger side because I was getting that code for bank 2. Too much fuel and exhaust pretty much on bank 2, which is gonna be the passenger side. So I'm gonna start there. It's pretty easy to take these off. Just take the wire off. It's gonna be one nut right on top of each of them, and they're gonna pop right off, and then you can take the spark plug off. And normally spark plugs, they're gonna tell you everything that you need to know. You're gonna wanna, with the spark plug out, you're gonna be able to look down into the cylinder, see what it looks like down in there. Alright, here we are with the coils off. The second one back over here. Pretty sure this is my problem. This one's getting oil on it. These come with little gaskets on them, little O-ring gaskets, kind of stop the oil from leaking down onto them. So this is probably just old and worn out. It's getting too much oil. It's gotten wet, causing a misfire. This is the only one out of all 8 that was wet, but the rest of them are kind of rusty, crusty looking. Spark plugs that probably haven't been changed in who knows how long. So that pretty much tells me for sure what the problem is going on here. Between the codes that we was getting with the O2 sensors, too much fuel coming from bank 2, multi-cylinder misfire. Pretty sure it'd be an easy fix. This new coils, new plugs, and this thing will be good to go, run like new again. Pretty much gonna be almost impossible to get this 4.7 to quit burning at least a little bit of oil, but it'll definitely be better with the new coils and them gaskets, and then the O-ring gaskets being brand new. So the coils on this are a little too expensive to be going to get the part store, so I'm gonna have to order them offline. So I'm not gonna show you guys the reinstall part. If you made it this far, you can handle the rest. So just wanted to show you guys, one of the many ways to diagnose a misfire, multi-cylinder misfire. Hopefully it'll help one of you guys out, or some of you guys out. Don't forget to hit the like button if this showed you, any of the methods I showed you helped you out any to diagnose your misfire. And that will be it for this Durango. I might do another video on it for a wheel bearing. You'll have to hit the subscribe button if you're interested in a 2006 Durango wheel bearing.